What's up, guys? Sinapse here. Today I'm here in Omotesando, which is the Champs-Élysées of Tokyo, right? Beautiful open walking street, a great place for some day game, and lots of kind of classy chicks, a little bit older, I would say. If you go over to Harajuku, you get a lot of younger girls, but over here it's more like, 24 to 30, maybe a little bit older. A little bit more English level, which is good compared to Shibuya or something like that. But what I really wanted to talk about today is the reason why I don't date Japanese girls, at least not very often. All right, I might have a date maybe one a month, two a month, and you might be thinking that's kind of crazy for somebody who's doing this all the fucking time. But there is a very specific and good reason for it, and I just wanted to break it down for you, exactly why I focus so little on dates and instead spend all of my time just pulling essentially SNLs from the street. All right. Now, I'll start with prefacing this by saying that I wasn't always like this. In fact, I don't really recommend this for most people. For the average guy, it's going to be much more rewarding for you to go out, get numbers, schedule dates like normal, maybe a week in advance, a week and a half in advance, something like that, and then go meet those girls on those dates. You can plan maybe 4 dates a week or something. There was a period in my career, my gaming career, my life, really, where I was planning about 4, sometimes even 5 a week, right? And this is one of the times, that it was very rewarding for me. I was making a lot of progression, really pushing things, right? So I think for most people, there's going to be a lot of rewards or a lot of improvement to be had just by going out gaming normally, scheduling dates or day twos, right? And this is really what I guess kind of like normal game is, all right? So now, why do I not do that anymore? Why have I don't know if it's moved beyond that or if it's just what I personally am doing now, right? Basically, how I game at this current moment is I just go out almost every day, really, as soon as I'm finished with the other things I have to do, whether it's work or, food, gym, whatever I got to do in the morning. As soon as I'm finished with that, I just go out and I game, right? I game for at least, probably 4 hours a day on average when I'm going really hard. And the reason for that is that most of the time I can pretty reliably pull girls back to my place the same day, right? With almost more regularity than even if I was planning dates. On top of that, I really don't like texting. In Japan, there's just a huge amount of flakes, times where you budget 4 hours of your night to meet a girl, and she's like, oh, I had something come up, like my grandpa's cousin's dog's nephew got sick, so I have to take it to the dog hospital, or whatever, just random bullshit comes up. I'm sure if you've been here for a while, you've all experienced that, right? So to totally mitigate that, totally eliminate that, as it were, I just only pretty much pull the same day. All right, now it might seem crazy, right? And it basically, the end result is it's kind of now or never mindset, right? And that's really powerful, because when you make that conscious decision with yourself, you really lay it all out on the table. You really go extra hard, and you really you're not trying to just eke out a number and then that's it, right? The number really is the secondary objective, all right? The primary objective is to pull that girl home that same night, all right? Now, that's not to say that I don't ever have dates. I do, right? But out of maybe 20, 30 girls' numbers that I get, I end up meeting, actually actively scheduling and meeting maybe one of them, right? The other, I probably, out of, again, about 30 phone numbers, I probably will only message 3, 4, 5 of them beyond the first initial message. Now, that might seem wasteful, or it might seem crazy, or it might seem a little bit extreme for a lot of you guys. But the reason for that, again, is really, really simple, and that is that I like the process of meeting women. That's really what it's all about. I love that. I love that first initial go in, talk to her, find some girl who didn't even know you existed before that night, and share a beautiful experience in that moment. whether I want to follow up with a date with her or not, that's kind of secondary to my goals, right? I meet her, if it goes well, if the stars are aligned, I just take her home then and there, right? And honestly, if I look back on all the girls I've hooked up with in the past, really the highest quality of girls have been the ones that I pulled home the same day, okay? It hasn't really been dates, although there have been some really nice girls from that. And the reason for that is in Japan, right, the really highest quality, most attractive girls are booked out for basically the entire month, all right? If you've been here for a while, you've tried to schedule dates, you've probably run into that line like Raishu wa or Raigetsu wa, like next month. What about next month, right? I'm busy this entire month, but what about next month? These popular busy girls, their chances of actually landing a date on a specific day with them and having them actually show up and not cancel is very, very slim, all right? So if you find a girl who has free time, it's really in the best interest of both yourself and her and your future relationship to pull her immediately, right, that same day, all right? Now, you might be thinking, what do I do with all of those, like, ridiculous amount of numbers that I'm not using? And essentially what I do is I just invite them all to parties that I have, maybe once every 2 weeks or so. I just send out a mass invitation to like 50, 60, 100, even 200 sometimes girls. And some of them that come, then things can happen at that party. Like I'll just try to hook up with them basically at the party, whether it's like wait until everybody leaves and then there's only 2 or 3 girls and then me and one friend or 2 friends or whatever hook up with all of them, or I'll just pull them into another side room and hook up with them there. Either way, it's a great way for me to throw out a mass invite to a bunch of people. The girls who are interested will come, maybe bring friends who are even better than them. Who knows, but it's conservative of my own time, and it's the most fun for me while minimizing the thing that I like the least, which is playing essentially date battleship, where the other person can move the dates of their battleships, as in they can move their free days around or change their plans willy-nilly, right? So ultimately, it's the thing that's most rewarding for me, given the fact that I can go out on an average day, pull a girl back the same day with relative reliability. All right. So I'm not suggesting 100% that you do this all the time. And for most guys, I think going this traditional route is going to be a lot more rewarding and effective in terms of, just scheduled standard dates, right? But at a certain level, you're going to get really confident, really good in your abilities, and to the degree where you can reliably pull girls home almost every time you go out, right? And when you're at that stage, there's really little need to schedule dates unless it's a girl that you really like or like made a particularly strong impression into you. And in that case, yeah, sure, do it. Otherwise, just throw them all in a party, like invite all of them to one night and see what happens. Just show up as you, like 5 chicks, see what happens. Funny experiences can happen when you do strange things. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm about to get out. It's really fucking hot. The cicadas are chirping. But the other beautiful thing about summer is that there's lots of women with skirts and cute fashion wandering around in the sun, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed with nothing to do. So I'm about to get onto that. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching.